The Portland Timbers 2025 season is on the line, hosting the best road side in Major League Soccer history as the one-seed San Diego collected 12 wins outside of Southern California. Their star forward Anders Schreier also scored 17 of his 19 goals away from home. But for the Portland Timbers, there's no illusions of the task at hand, but how it's going to be achieved, largely down to set pieces, something they worked on a lot at the training ground. And of course, counterattacking a San Diego side that dedicates so many numbers forward into the attack.
I think we are a really good counterattacking team. What I would say about in the last 3-4 weeks, I don't think we've executed the final pass or the final finish as well as what we should have done. And I think that's really important going into this game. I think it's a game where we have to accept that they will probably create chances, and we have to create more chances, and we have to score more goals than them. It's a shootout. It's do or die. It's a one-off. It's a one-off final game.
San Diego FC like to swarm the ball in and out of possession, and a part of the pitch that has really interested me watching the last 2 games against San Diego FC is their overloads on the right wing. It's something the Portland Timbers like to do on the left with David Acosta and Velde at times. But San Diego take it to a next level. They'll have Anibal Godoy, a center mid, Anders Schreier, the right wing, and Ian Pilcher, the right back, all swarm the ball when it's on the right wing, giving for many passing options and different looks in attack. I asked winger Christopher Velde and head coach Phil Neville about stopping that challenge.
It's really hard. It's really hard because you kind of have them in like behind you, so you can't see all the time, and that's where the communication comes in. And me and Forey were struggling a little bit in the beginning of the game, and we played the best team, and Dreyer is an amazing player, so it's difficult to always see where he is and maybe drop a little bit or jump. But I think that wasn't the biggest issue. I think the biggest issue was lack of concentration in important moments and kind of giving away a goal.
That's where the cat and mouse comes in, particularly against a team like San Diego, where they're overloading in certain areas and where you have to get men into certain areas. But like I say, I think we've got to make sure we're simple, we're compact, and that we are in control of everything that they're doing with or without the possession.
Timbers forward and DP Christopher Velde grabbed his debut goal for the club in his first ever playoff game down in San Diego, and unfortunately wasn't enough to force the game into PKs, but he also showed fans his attitude during that game, something that the Timbers faithful has been missing since the departure of Sebastian Blanco.
I think it's just showing me that I care, and people care in different kind of ways. I care by showing that I'm either frustrated or I don't know. That's just my way of showing passion, and I care about the game. So when I developed it, I think I had it since I was a little kid, and just wanting to win and scoring goals and helping the team. So maybe from the outside it can sound or look a little bit bad, but it's never bad. It's never a bad intention. It's just my way of showing that I care. So,
David Acosta played 31 games for a Lyon side in 2022-23 that finished second in Ligue 1 only to PSG, a side that he said San Diego FC reminds him a bit of. But when he played in the 3 at the back in that season, he said he was often coming deep to pick up the ball from defenders. I think in this series, he sort of has to do that again to provide breathing room for a team that is in constant pressure against the San Diego press.
Yeah, I think obviously David Acosta is his preferred position, and so where he wants to get is on the ball. You know, David's obviously got to be in a position to defend. I think everyone's got to be, we talk about 1.5 jobs to make sure they can do their own job and help anyone else out if there's more runners off the ball, if a ball does break to them. So David is used to playing lower down to try and transition, but we ultimately want him to be in a position where he can go win us games and score goals.
It's been 10 years to the date of the Timbers' double post game against Sporting Kansas City, and current assistant coach Liam Ridgewell took a PK in that game and captained the Portland Timbers in his first season. I asked him about that memorable PK shootout that the Timbers are hoping to take some good voodoo from coming in to Saturday night.
Do you know what? I was looking at that today and just thinking about my thought process was I'll be going home soon. You know, I'd not seen the kids for a long time, and it's probably the most time I'd not seen Luca and even my oldest two now for a long time. So it was, you know, get through to the next round, obviously, but my mind was obviously missing them and trying to get used to the playoffs and understand that. So it was a funny feeling this morning. because I remember the penalty and us running up, and I still had that feeling of like, oh, I'm not going to see the kids for another week. I'm not seeing the family for another week. Lo and behold, it was for another 4 or 5 weeks, and we made history. So it's a great feeling. It's something that we sacrifice a lot for, friends and family. So that was my main feeling from that game. It was like, oh no, but it was obviously a special thing and big for the playoffs.
That'll do it for the Portland Timbers Media Roundup. I will have an in-depth podcast preview of this game that will be live by the time you're seeing this. Check out the Timber Review on all platforms. That one is free to listen to. And if you want continued coverage of the Portland Timbers during the playoffs and into the offseason, be sure to check out the Timber Review Patreon. But I'm Adam Sussman. I'll talk to you after the game on Saturday night against San Diego.